Here's Illhan Omar, who's turned into an absolute lunatic. She's now supporting terrorists, which is, how is she not being totally condemned and asked to leave the seat right now, Illhan Omar? This is an actual tweet from Illhan Omar's account about the ongoing crisis in Israel right now. She says, Israeli airstrikes killing civilians in Gaza is an act of terrorism. Leftists do this all the time. They flip this flipperooski. You know the flipperooski? They what the terrorists are doing, they flip it and blame it on their political opponents instead. She says, Palestinians deserve protection. Unlike Israel, missile defense programs such as the Iron Dome don't exist to protect Palestinian civilians. Maybe you wouldn't need them if you wouldn't launch rockets into Israel. Just throwing that out there. She says it's unconscionable not to condemn these attacks on the week of Eid. Israeli airstrikes are killing civilians? Remember the Thomas Sowell debating tactic I told you about? Thomas Sowell, great intellect of our time, has called out liberals for this repeatedly. The tactic of starting the story in the middle. They start a story that's a 12-chapter book at chapter 6, and they expect you to forget about chapter 1 through 6. So what's interesting is she starts the story with Israeli airstrikes in Gaza, but leaves out the fact that they're striking targets in Gaza that are launching rockets into Israeli civilian territory. No warning, no nothing. Just indiscriminate rocket launches into a free country. She leaves that out because she supports terrorists, Hamas. That's what she did. Can we stop beating around the bush? Illhan Omar is supporting a terror group. And what does she do? She does the standard liberal tactic every dense liberal does, and they take it and they blame the terrorism on their political opponents instead. Starts the story in the middle. Here's how it worked for the liberals listening who have a tough time with foreign policy. Gaza, Israel. Gaza, controlled by a lot of components of Hamas. Rockets into Israel first. Tried to kill people. Iron Dome blocks some rockets, not all. Some people do get killed. Israel responds to stop rockets. Notice how she starts the story in the middle with the Israel responds to stopping the rockets. She doesn't mention the actual rockets because she's a liar. And she supports terrorism. Can't say that, Dan. I say whatever I want. I don't care. I'm tired of these idiots. Here's another genius. Here's another way from the tweet. Here's another. Palestinians, a quote from Illhan Omar's tweet. Palestinians deserve protection. Maybe if you spend more time on technology and your economy and not killing Jews all the time, maybe you'd have technology too. I'm just throwing that out there. There's only been, what do you think? What do you say, Guy? Billions of dollars in aid to Palestinians? We rough marker? Billions? Maybe we're at the tens of billions now? You could have built 75 Iron Domes at this point. But no. When Hamas takes their money and somehow gets a hold of it and then buys rockets from the Iranians to blow up Israel, maybe you should spend your money on an Iron Dome instead. You know, technology, productivity. Better than terrorism, right? I thought we all knew that. Here's another genius in a classic clip. Illhan Omar's best friend, another dunce, AOC, the most famous bartender in America. Here's AOC asked a while ago by Margaret Hoover. It's about a 13-second clip, so it's short. Asked to comment on the issue. She opens her mouth. Now, she's another supporter of Hamas, big terror group, right? AOC, she seems to love Hamas. Here's AOC in a 13-second clip. I don't know if this is 2-3 years ago. When asked by Margaret Hoover, hey, give us your take on the whole Palestinian-Israeli issue and what you think. Of course, AOC, who she can serve a Heineken and a Bud really well, doesn't seem to know much about the whole Middle Eastern crisis. Here she basically admits she's a dunce. Check this out.
You use the term the occupation of Palestine. What did you mean by that?
I think what I meant, I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. That's all I needed to hear. You're not an expert on anything. Maybe serving a Jägermeister shot, but you're not an expert on pretty much anything. Here's who they support, by the way, Illhan Omar. Where is the left, by the way? I thought the left, they were all about tolerance. What was that? Bumper stickers? If you're a leftist, you have to put the bumper sticker on, the coexist bumper sticker. Coexist, right? We got to emphasize LGBTQ rights all the time. See, unlike the left, we actually respect God-given rights for everyone, regardless if we agree with their lifestyle or politics or not. That's the whole essence of being a conservative, isn't it? I thought. But the left, Illhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and others who support terrorists, they support terrorists. That's what they do. Yeah, that's true. They don't seem to have any problem with this story in Newsweek. Remember this one back in 2016? Hamas executes prominent commander after accusations of gay sex. Someone going to ask Illhan Omar about that? What about AOC, the bartender? Someone going to ask her about that too? AOC, you support that? Killing people, Hamas, for gay sex? Do you support that? Because I assure you, regardless if you agree with the lifestyle or whatever your thoughts are, I'm pretty sure that if you're gay in Israel, there's no death penalty. I'm pretty sure last time I checked. Can you double check? Yes, there's no death penalty for being gay in Israel. We're all cool. Joe, can you third that? No death penalty, right? Israel.
I third it.
Gay,
Yeah.
Okay, Joe thirds it. There's definitely no death penalty in Israel for being gay. I thought we were into tolerance. Coexist? Unless it's Hamas. Then you can kill people who are gay. No problem. No problem at all. Right. Good point. He brought up a good point. They have this enormous gay pride a parade in Tel Aviv. There's not mass killings there. Then try that. Try that in the Arab world. Go ahead. I want you to live. In many places in the area, you could maybe get away with it. Not in Palestine. Or Palestine, air quotes. There's no Palestine. There's no such thing as Palestine. There's never been a Palestine. Ask your friends who tell you there's a Palestine. Say, really? What was the official currency of Palestine? Can you produce a coin, a nugget, a dollar bill? Says Palestinian Federal Reserve. Who was the king or monarch or president of Palestine? Who was that?